Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to A Filthee Perspective. This is my co-host, Hansaku. You could go as HK if you want to go short on that. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about Season 4 today. It is the first episode of our podcast, so we figured we'd start off with something that everybody knows and loves, Apex Legends Season 4. Here we go. We know that it releases on February 4th. That's about a week from now, 7 days, right?
Coming up.
Oh, man. So we're super excited, guys. So the most important thing about Season 4, and we know that it has a lot to do with each season that comes out, is the title. The title of Season 4, I think it has a great title. I think it has a lot of play on words in the situation, but that title is
Assimilation. And there's a lot that we can speculate off of that, especially with some of the footage they've already released with their new legend.
Well, we're going to get into the legend, and I think that has a lot to do just knowing that it's called Assimilation. I don't think people are seeing what's actually connected within that theories. But we're going to get there. We'll get there. So let's go down the list of the things that we know that are going to happen in Season 4, and as we go through them, we'll break it down. We know we're getting a new gun. We're getting a new sniper rifle. You guys,
the Sentinel.
The Sentinel. That's what it's called. You guys know for a fact that I love sniper rifles. I don't know if you've seen me play with it, but they're fun. And the one thing that I've always been frustrated about is we don't have a bolt action that I can find on the map. But
well, now your wishes are coming true, my friend. So
they are coming true. I'm super excited. So we're going to have a bolt action sniper. Now, there are some things behind this bolt action sniper that I'm really concerned about, while at the same time I'm super excited about. They said this bolt action sniper is supposed to have a charge to it.
Yeah, but they didn't really release any details on that. But I'm really excited to see what they got. They're so freaking clever, dude. In that little interview they didn't. You could tell that they were wanting to say something, but they didn't reveal too much, Well,
they said that it had a charge, which made me think of two things. And I want to go over those two things real quick because it made me really just think about what was going on there. Widowmaker in Overwatch, if you've ever watched her, has a charge to her rifle where it deals more damage if it's charged up. Did they do that, or did they make it so that it has to charge for distance?
Right.
So is there a damage drop-off, or is it charged for extra damage? So we don't actually know. It's going to be really neat to see how they affect this, because this rifle has to have a big play in what's going to happen, or they wouldn't be releasing it this way.
Maybe it'll be something. What's a good example? Like the DMR or something off of Halo. It's got the single shots. They're moderately damage heavy, but then you charge it, and then it becomes an actual sniper rifle on that charge bullet. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, that would be really interesting. Where it's like an AR style, but you could still use it as a sniper rifle when you charge it up.
Maybe.
So basically like a DMR style, where you could like the Scout is currently, but have a better, more powerful sniper shot.
Exactly.
That would be very interesting. I think that's awesome. So we'll get to talking about how that affects things a little bit later, but we're gonna move forward right now. We're gonna talk about what's happening with the map, guys. They're changing the map again. They're gonna be there's things all over the map currently. I don't know if you've seen them yourself. Hammond Robotics is getting involved a little bit there. And
Hammond Robotics.
And I know that during Titanfall 2, Hammond Robotics was kind of the bad guys, kind of the way they played out. But we're going to see how they affect the map. I know there's signs where it looks like they're going to do stuff, and they're going to put new equipment or buildings, or who knows what it's going to be. But it's very interesting. But I don't think that's where it stopped, because Hammond Robotics has a corporate sponsor on one of the new legends they've announced.
Oh, yeah, this new legend. This guy looks like a total stud. As they said, he's got a mean left hook. But I don't know. If you guys have been keeping up with some of the stuff that they've been releasing, you probably... I don't want to spoil it for some people, but...
Oh, just give it to him. Just give it to him.
So basically, they released this new legend. He got stabbed, and he's dead, supposedly. So they've got all this stuff going on the map, the Hammond Robotics and all that. So... there's so much speculation. I could sit here and talk for hours on the theories.
So let's I want to talk all about that.
Yes.
We're going to dive into it a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about Forge right now, because that's the name of the new legend, and his name is Forge. And they say that he's a melee-based champion, which means he's going to get in the nitty-gritty, which means he's going to change the meta a lot. We'll get into that in a little bit. But he was a 5 times Hyper Fighting Federation champion, correct? Sponsored by Hammond Robotics.
Straight monster.
This robotics company sponsors him. A robotics company. I'm going to emphasize that like 3 times, and here's why. Because he's right. Apparently, another legend that was announced killed Jimmy McCormick, a.k.a. Forge.
During an interview.
Yeah, during an interview. That was savage. It was savage. But here's my question. So, if this new character Revenant kills... We'll get to Revenant in a minute. We're going to talk about Forge right now. If this new character kills Revenant... Or kills Forge. Sorry, I apologize. Kills Forge. and we look at this actual situation, the developers announced this character Forge. Why would the developers announce something and then take it back? Now, I understand that it'd be cool because they're killing him and they're making it cool, but I don't think they would have announced him, and I don't think that he would be in the data mined files unless he existed. So my theory on this absolute situation is that Hammond Robotics is going to make him a complete cyborg.
A complete cyborg. That would be pretty awesome.
I mean, we have Pathfinder, who has an AI. We have Revenant, who is some sort of mix of, what did they call him? What was the name they called him?
Synthetic Nightmare.
So he's a synthetic nightmare, but we know that he has a consciousness as well.
Yeah.
So is there a chance that we actually see a full cyborg in this game?
That would be pretty awesome. I mean, it would, it would also go against if he was to be able to do a lot of damage and take a lot of damage, it would counter, some Gibby.
Yeah, Gibraltar. We'll get into Gibby's stupidity right now because I do believe 100% he is the most overpowered champion in the game currently, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So moving on to because we think he's going to be a cyborg, I think he's going to get released, and we'll talk about when I think he's going to get released because that comes up a little bit later. So the other champion coming out is actually Revenant. And I think that Revenant looks really cool. Revenant was teased in Shadowfall. If you played Season 3, the Halloween event, Revenant was teased, and we got a little bit of a taste for what Revenant was going to be like. We know that it looks like he's going to have like a shadow form from what they were saying. It looks like he's going to be able to mark his target. They say he's supposed to be faster while he crouches and climbs. But it looks like he's supposed to be an assassination-type character, which means instead of shooting someone from a far ways away, it looks like he's meant to get up close and personal too, which could be the rivalry between Forge and Revenant. That's why we're seeing that way. Because Forge actually claimed, come on, get close and personal in the interview, and then Revenant got close and personal.
He did right
won.
after that, yeah.
So on that note, even if Forge doesn't come back, because of the way that it is, I think a family member may come to avenge him. Something's going to happen where we get a Forge-type character in the game, or he wouldn't be there. So we know that Revenant's coming. Revenant's going to be a character. I still theorize that Forge is still going to come out because there's no reason they would have put all this work into this character and then delete them.
Yeah, and of course, I might be getting ahead of myself here, but they did name the map Assimilation, and he is a cyborg. So, who knows what's going to happen there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen there, but we'll see how it works out, and we'll see how things go. So moving forward a little bit, let's talk about a couple of the things that I'm super excited about, and I know that you guys know I'm excited about this because I was excited about it last season. We're going to talk about the changes to Ranked, and I know you for a fact haven't got a lot of chance to play the Ranked mode and the way that it played out, but you've had a lot of chance to play other Ranked modes, so I'd like to get your perspective on how you think that the rank mode changes are comparative to things like League of Legends or the old Halo style. So first off, let's talk about the way that ranked changed, and then we'll talk about the perspectives that we have on each way. So ranked changes, they added a new tier. So we
Master tier.
The Master tier.
Yeah.
So Master tier goes in between Apex Predator and Diamond. Master tier will now include everyone that reaches above Diamond and all the way up to the top 500. Apex Predator is now only the top 500 players, and that status is not guaranteed. If you reach the top 500, you can lose it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, you could. What an honor, though, to have such a title, though. You could just, gosh.
So I want Apex Legends.
This guy's going to get it. This guy's going to get it.
Top 500, yeah.
Top
okay.
500.
Well, we're going to try, but I doubt we get there. So back to what I was going to say, though, is do you remember League of Legends when you reached top 500, you got a jacket in the mail?
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic. I really think that would be really cool to do. Not sure what they're going to do with it, but we'll see. So on that note, so we get a new tier. We get a Master tier. That's awesome. The only downfall of the Master tier is Diamond players lose their dive trail. It now goes to Masters and Apex Predators only. So if you're Diamond and you want your dive trail, this is the last season to get it, and you only got a couple days, so you might want to get after that. So they announced something really cool, and I mean, I haven't seen any other game truly do it, but they announced splits during the season. So they're going to split the season into 2 events.
2 events, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around like the significance of having the season split up into two parts like that. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they do, because they've already got 2 heroes they're possibly releasing.
One for each split, You think maybe? Because that's my theory of where Forge is going to get released. Revenant comes out with the beginning of the season, and Forge comes back at the split. That would be a perfect time to bring him back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So
it would definitely, people would be getting real comfortable in the first half of the season, and all of a sudden,
with the split, the map change.
Yeah.
Guys, during the split, the map's going to change halfway through the season. So you'll get 6 weeks of one version of the split, and then you'll get 6 weeks of a different. So you're going to go from Meltdown, which is being changed, so you're not going to be able to get used to it. You have 6 weeks to get used to it and to do as best as you can at it. And then it's going to turn around. It's going to go straight to Kings Canyon again.
Yep.
I'm super excited. Kings Canyon is absolutely back, but at the same time, I'm concerned that a lot of these players that haven't played Kings Canyon are going to struggle when they get to it.
Oh, they might. That's always a possibility. That map, knowing the map is such a vital part.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Oh, getting some of that coffee, huh? That's some good stuff, though.
So we are actually affiliated with 40 Thieves Coffee, as you see right here in the front. 40 Thieves Coffee, they have some great flavors out. Some of them are limited time. I like the company. They're a great company to work with. Their coffee got here really quick, and their flavors are fantastic. Right now, we're drinking chocolate hazelnut ice cream. It is a limited flavor, but it's fantastic. I love the flavor.
It's limited?
Yeah,
oh,
it's
man.
limited. But they have some really other good flavors that I really like. This one I haven't even opened yet, but I'm super excited. It's put in a whiskey barrel to give it that hint of Southern. But if you guys want to check that out, you can use code Filthee over at 40thieves.com and get a 5% off on that. So go check that out. Guys, so let's move forward a little bit into the ranked tier. We're talking about it. We're getting to it. So we're going to do a split. How's that split going to work? So you're going to be able to get your rank all the way up for the split for the first half of it. So you're going to get your rank up. So let's say that you hit Apex Predator.
Okay.
Well, if you don't hit it the next split, what does that mean for you?
That means, what was it that you
still get your rewards for being an Apex Predator in the first part of the split.
Yeah, that is something, right? You get the rewards for the highest tier you achieve in both of them. So that's
But
cool.
what happens if you hit the same tier on both of them? You remember what that was? That was a really cool effect.
Oh yeah, you get that animated tag for your rank, right?
Yeah, you get an animated tag for your rank if you achieve the same rank for both tiers. So that's fantastic.
That's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So going down, let's talk about how rank is actually affected and the gameplay of rank is affected besides the map. So they did something really awesome, and I'm super excited about it. They added an increased assist timer. And if you guys know, I complain about assists all the time because I don't think that the assist directive is very good. I think the way that they did it was very poor. And I know you agree with me on this. You think that if you deal damage to someone and they don't heal, as long as someone else kills them, you should get the assist.
Yeah, honestly.
And I honestly agree with you. However, I do think that they did a really good job by increasing the timer to 7.5 seconds, and they still fixed the error where if someone heals, as long as it's within that 7.5 seconds, you still get credit. So that's fantastic. Perfect. They fixed that. It's not perfect, but it's better.
Yeah, it's much better. But the thing I was thinking, I actually was thinking ahead of myself. That one change that they made was if anybody, for example, Bloodhound, right. if you are tracking people with his ability, you'll get an assist if one of your teammates kills them, even if you don't touch them.
As long as the ability is what spots them and it's within that 7.5 second window, absolutely. So apparently, from my understanding, Crypto's drone affects that. Bloodhound's ability affects that. Here's a couple questions I have. Does Gibby's shield affect that? If you're inside Gibby's shield and you get a kill, does you get an assist because you're using his shield? Or does Lifeline's heal? If it's healing you and you attack somebody, does she get an assist quality for that? So it really boils down to what all did they think of, because there's multiple ways. Hey, if Watson's thing heals me, do I get an assist?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How does that work?
Yeah.
What are all the things? So we'll see. We'll test it. We'll figure some things out as we go. So moving down to the next thing, I do really love that they added auxiliary play into that. That's fantastic. And I think that when you have support players that don't really do a lot of damage but are very active in what they do and they're very helpful, like Cryptos and like Bloodhounds, I don't think that they're necessarily support characters, but I think that people that play them try to play them more supporty to help the team. I think that's fantastic, guys. I think that that's 100% a great job on Respawn for adding that feature in there, realizing that players play these characters to assist other players.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be a huge bonus. So I'm going to mention the next part, and I know some of you guys might be disappointed because I play on Smurfs with you guys to try to help out to get your rank up, but they've added something. and this something is going to be okay for some of you, and it's going to be really hard for some of you. If you reach platinum, you are no longer available to tier with anyone outside, or to queue with anyone outside of your tier by 1. So that means if you are a platinum 4, you can only queue with people that are gold 4 or diamond 4. I don't think it's going to be diamond 1. They said tier, so I don't know if that means 1 or it means a full section down. I think it's a full section down. So that means anyone that's in silver can't queue with a platinum anymore. So I can't jump into your lobby with a silver player and help you as a platinum. It kind of sucks, but I think it was necessary. There were tons of people boosting, and there are tons of people trying to get to somewhere where they shouldn't be.
Cough, cough, guilty. Cough, cough, guilty. No.
I helped people. I don't mind helping people. I understand people want their rewards and things like that, so it doesn't bother me. It's not a huge ordeal, but I really do think that this is going to help balance the game a little bit. But on that note, I think we need a hard reset.
Mm-hmm.
I think the entire rank system needs to be reset and started over because there's so many people that boosted. There's so many people that cheated their way to Predator, and they're only going to be dropped down to Platinum.
Yeah, and honestly, it would make sense if with them making the changes where you can only queue with people that are a tier away, it would make sense to do a hard reset. It would make sense because things have changed quite a bit. They've learned quite a bit, and the players too.
Well, just looking at that, let me. I'm gonna pull this up real quick. So let's talk about. We were talking about that on the things that have changed. So last season, these are the rankings by percentage. So bronze had 5.1% of players in it. Silver 40%. Gold 35.7%, platinum 16.8%, diamonds 2.1%, and predator 0.2%. This season was a huge change in all of those, and I think that's why they added the master tier and they added that new feature to keep people from queuing with each other. So bronze stayed about the same at 3.9%. Silver was 29.1%. Gold was 35.3%. So gold is about the same. Here's where the big changes were, and I think they wanted to fix these. 23.6% of people were platinum. That's a 10% increase almost. That right there shows you that people were boosting each other.
Yeah.
7.1% were diamond. That's a 5% increase. That shows boost. And then 1% were predators. So these people were boosting each other to these ranks, and I understand why they wanted to do this reset, and I understand why it was a big deal. So I just wish they'd do a hard reset and get everybody back down to where they're supposed to be, and then we'd be way better off. But let's talk about the last thing that I think is a huge ordeal, which I think really comes down to when you're doing this type of thing and you're talking about seasons and you're talking about all the things that affect the season, is the change in the meta when a new season comes out. Now, you know and I know that when a new season of a ranked game comes out, the meta changes entirely. And your top players decide how the meta is going to change.
Yep.
And I'm going to be the first to admit, when Season 3 released, I played horrible probably for the first month. And I'll tell you why I played horrible. I tried to play the meta. The meta's not me. Yeah. I realized that I had to stop trying to play the meta, and I had to play me. Because the meta is only for players that follow the meta. Anyone that doesn't follow the meta is people that decide the new meta. So if I play the way that I want to play, regardless of what happens, I'm playing for me and not the meta.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, lower ranks, like to play the meta. And you understand that when it comes to League of Legends, because I played the meta during League of Legends as well.
Right. Especially, sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially for like a new player coming in or something, maybe have like a general idea of the way it goes. But it's real nice to be able to just see a pro player. It's like, oh, this is what everybody's doing. Let's just give it a shot.
So we were talking about that earlier. Right now in Season 3, the meta is Gibraltar. Gibby is the meta, and he's being played profusely because Gibby is so powerful. Gibby actually needs to be nerfed, in my opinion, 100%. We need some balances around there, and they're probably going to balance some things. We haven't seen any data on that. Hopefully we get some data before it releases on the 4th. People will find some more information. But Gibby is the meta right now, and then you got your meta where it's snipers. So you've got Gibby and you've got Pathfinder, and you've got usually it's a Gibby, a Pathfinder, and another character, or you have 3 bunker down characters like a Watson, a Crypto, and a Gibraltar, or something to that effect, or Caustic, Crypto. It doesn't matter. The whole point is you have 2 types of players right now. You have one style of player that likes to shoot from range and snipe, and then you have another type of player that likes to bunker down. That's the current meta. So looking at this situation on the way that this is working and the way that the meta is going to change with the new season and the new characters, if Forge is released, that changes the meta entirely. Forge looks like he's going to have a gap closer. It looks like he's going to be able to jump in, crush a team no matter where they're at, because he can get there very quickly and he can get in their face and they can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Revenant looks like he's going to be have the ability to sneak around and get inside a building, and no one's going to know he's there, and he's going to be able to kill those players that are camping out. Because one of the abilities that they data mined for him was a silence, which means that he can disable their abilities. So that means, like, if you can disable abilities,
that's pretty broken.
That's pretty broken.
Wasn't it for like a good amount of time too?
Yeah, like 30 seconds I think is what they data mined, but I bet it's lower than that when it comes out, because that's a ridiculous amount of time.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, because that's 2 Phoenix kits. So well, it's more than 2 Phoenix kits, but the point, you understand my point.
Too much.
It's too much, but that was what was data mined. We're gonna see how that turns out and how that pans out. But I think the meta changed, and I think it changes drastically, and I'm super excited about a meta change, because what people don't realize is Season 1 was its own beautiful combobulation of people trying to learn the game. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't really a meta. Season 2 came out, and we kind of built a meta. Season 2 came out, Ranked came out with it, and there was this what I call bunkering. Some people call it something else. I think there's a difference between bunkering down and camping. I'm not scared to fight somebody in a bunker. I don't camp around a corner and wait for somebody to come through. That's the difference to me. Bunker means people know where you are, but you hold that ground. Mm-hmm. Camping means that you're hiding in a corner waiting for someone and no one knows where you're at.
Yeah.
So I don't mind letting everyone know my location. Come to me. I want to kill you. That's my point. But that's how season.
And he will.
That's how season.
That's a threat. No.
That's a threat. Oh no, that's how season 2. Season 2 was with Watson. Season 2 was very, bunker down, build yourself a base at the end of season 2, and that's how people played. And after season 2 ended, I didn't have a problem with it. I was diamond, and that's how we played, and we had to adjust to the meta because 9 teams would be in the final circle, and it was stupid. Mm-hmm. This new season came out, and it became a super sniper-oriented season, like a range. Like everyone wants to be ranged, or everyone wants to hide in buildings in their own little space and let the last circle come down. I stopped playing like that. I just started rushing people again like I did before. I just had to change my tactics a little bit.
It's funner that way, in my opinion.
It's 100% more fun, but I think that what ends up happening a lot of the time in that situation too is you die a lot more.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't mind. Deaths, KDs don't really mean a lot. Everyone that thinks that they do is ridiculous, because how many times do you shoot a basketball and miss before you make a shot? I mean,
exactly.
like that's the whole point there, right?
Yeah.
So just like that theory coming out there, you have to keep trying to kill people. So to kill people, I could sit back and have 1 million kills and 0 deaths if I really, really just wanted to camp the whole time, but I don't like to do that. That's not me. I think the meta changes. I think us as players change the meta. And I think these 2 new characters come out can really change the way that things are done. And I think especially with the new assists, it changed the meta for ranked. Mm-hmm. I think with the map coming to Switch in the middle of the 6 weeks, it changes the meta for ranked. I think the new weapon will probably change the meta. I think they were so smart in the way that they did so many things this one new patch coming up that I think it's going to change and just mess up so many people's play styles. But guys, realize it doesn't matter. Play your play style. Play to your advantage.
Play your character that you're good at. That's one of the big things with anything that's ranked. There's the meta, but just be good at what you're good at. Just pick something and get good at it.
Absolutely. 100% I agree with that. If you pick a character, no matter what anybody says, say you're a one-trick pony, be a one-trick pony. It's better to be a one-trick pony than to be somebody that's average or worse than average at every character.
Yeah.
One-trick pony it up, guys. Don't be scared. So that being said, let's go over. We're going to do a recap real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and end this. Guys, so Season 4 releases on...
February 4th?
February 4th, you're absolutely right. Yeah. The title of the new map, or the new season is? Assimilation. The new gun is?
Sentinel.
Absolutely. And who's sponsoring this entire situation, or who's getting involved in this situation?
Oh, you're talking about Hammond Robotics?
Hammond Robotics, absolutely. And then there was a legend that was just murdered.
Yeah, they're mad about that, too. I'm sure they spent a ton of money on that guy. What's his name? James McCormick, a.k.a. Forge.
Absolutely. Yeah, they spent a bunch of money on him, so I really don't think they're going to let him die. I think they're going to bring him back.
He's going to be an unstoppable machine. or something to that extent.
And then we have Revenant that looks like he's coming out as well. And they had a nickname for him, and that nickname was the something Nightmare.
Oh, the Synthetic Nightmare.
Synthetic Nightmare.
What an awesome name, though.
That's scary.
What an awesome name.
So through that, we have the ranked changes. We have the new tier, Master tier. We have the splits between the ranked seasons.
Sorry. One thing you said with the new tier, wasn't the new Master tier? It's going to start at the 10,000 RP.
Well, it's going to be
which is where Apex Legends was last. Or
Apex Predators. Yeah, so
Apex Predators.
It basically takes the place of Apex Predators as it is, and basically comes up to the same as it was, and then the Apex Predators are only in the top 500.
Even higher.
Yeah, so it's a better system in my opinion. And then you're going to get rewards based on your highest tier. So through the split, if you place Apex Predator on one and Diamond on the next, you still get the Apex Predator rewards. If you hit the same rank, you get an animated banner or an animated icon. Excuse me, sorry about that. And then we have assist time increased to 7.5 seconds from 5. Auxiliary skills and support skills now grant assists. And then you have limited tier play. We talked about that, where if you're a platinum player, you can't play with anyone within one tier, less than one tier away, or more than one tier away. Sorry about that. And then then we talked about the meta changes. So guys, just to wrap this up, this is a Filthee perspective with Hansaku, or you can call him HK, like I said. He likes to go by that. He's going to be more involved in the page, the stream, all the data that's going on. So get to know him, give him some shout outs. Guys, we are going to be posting this on podcasts and YouTube, and I'll be linking it on the page. So if you're at this point, you already know about it. But be sure to remember that we are affiliated with this coffee company right here, 40 Thieves Coffee. It's very delicious. I enjoy it. He's enjoying it. We went through 3 pots while we were prepping for this podcast.
It is 4:20 in the morning, and I have drank so much coffee. Let me tell you about it. It's so good.
It is very delicious. I'm enjoying it. Guys, some of these flavors are limited time. Go check them out, 40thieves.com. Guys, so back to what I was saying. 40 Thieves Coffee. Guys, they have limited flavors. Hazelnut, chocolate ice cream, delicious, amazing. They have a couple other great flavors coming out. They have there's some super good stuff coming out. You guys just check them out. Use code Filthee for a 5% discount. And guess what, guys? I promise you, you're not going to regret enjoying the coffee. Like I said, it's delicious. It's great. Also, guys, if you guys want merch, Filthee Gaming merch, you can check that out over at streamerloot.com.
Look at that sweet hat. I want that hat. Look at that hat. Look at that thing. That thing is sweet.
Filthee Gaming, or filtheegaming.com. Streamerloot.com. Guys, just look me up on there, F-I-1-T-H-E-E. Once again, that's my gamer tag, F-I-1-T-H-E-E, over at streamerloot.com. Sweet merch over there, guys. If you are here and you want a discount code, shoot me some messages in the comments, and I will get you one. All right, so there was one more thing that I think you found that we forgot to cover, which is they're going to be releasing 100 new items on the Battle Pass.
100 new items. Yeah, that's going to be pretty wild.
Yeah, that's one per...
I don't even have 100 thoughts in my head. Like, how did they come up with 100 new items?
I probably got 100 people working on it, one each. That'd be great. Okay, guys.
Goals.
goals. Well, we have 100 thoughts, just not over one specific game. All right, guys. Once again, we're going to sign out a Filthee perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. And be sure to do a shout out to Hansaku, a.k.a. HK. Guys, appreciate you being here with us. Appreciate you being a part of the podcast. This is our first one. Give us some love.